Hello, and thank you for choosing Cpap Monoway. We truly are happy to be taking care of you today. Today, I'm going to give you a rundown on how to unpack, assemble, and operate your 3B Luna Cpap device. Feel free to stop and start the video along the way so that you can keep up in real time. Let's start by unpacking the contents of your travel bag. Take note of how you're unpacking it so that when it's time to pack it back up for a trip, you're ready to rock and roll. In the top, you'll find your tubing and your power supply. Let's remove these and set these to the side for the moment. Behind the front flap, you'll find your PAP device and your humidifier. Your device may be a slightly different color if you've purchased a different model, but the operations are similar. Before we put the travel bag away, I want to point out your manufacturer's instructions and manual. Now, let's assemble your Cpap device and humidifier by lining the two together and pressing them until they click. Next, we'll connect your power supply to the back of the machine. When we plug it into the back, we want to make sure that the flat part of this is facing down. And we ask that you don't force it because you can bend those prongs if you're pressing in too hard. Then we'll connect our AC power supply to a wall outlet. Your screen should light up and say reading SD card. Once that's complete, your main screen is on and your unit is ready to operate. The knob below the screen is your on and off button. To turn it on, simply press it and the machine will begin to operate. To turn it off, press again and the machine will turn off. Keep in mind that if your screen's ever dark, you may have to press the knob one time prior to waking the machine up. When you first turn your machine on, you're going to see a few things on the main screen. For one, in the top left, you will see your humidity setting. Below that, your ramp time. To the right, your current pressure. And at the very bottom of the screen, you will see the mode and the settings that your doctor has prescribed. Keep in mind that soon after turning the machine on, this screen will dim, so the machine is not off. If at any time you want to light the screen back up, press the knob once and it will illuminate the screen again. One thing you can control at any point while you're using the machine is your humidity level. You do that by twisting this knob to the right to increase it or twisting it to the left to decrease it. It can go as high as 5, which you will see in the upper left of your screen, or as low as off. We typically start you at the middle of the road around 3, but feel free to adjust that as your conditions need change. If you wake up and you feel dry, turn it up a notch the next night. If you wake up and you have excess condensation or water in your tubing or mask, turn it down a notch. And remember to power down, simply press the knob again and your machine turns off. Next, let's go over your humidifier. To remove the water chamber, open the lid by lifting under the front lip of the right side of your machine. Be careful not to lift too far because it can break off the hinge if you pull up too hard. Next, slide out the water chamber by pulling it straight out. To fill this chamber, it must be flipped over and then the fill cap must be taken off. A slight turn to the left will unlock it so that you can remove it. Fill with distilled water to the maximum line. Put your lid back on and lock it. Flip the chamber back over and slide it back into the humidifier system. To close the lid, simply press back down, but make sure it clips shut to avoid air leaks or errors on the machine. To clean, you can take the chamber apart, again by lifting on the front lid and pulling the chamber out. When you flip this over, you have two latches that allow you to open this lid and clean the inside of this thoroughly. We recommend a warm soapy water or a light vinegar and water mix. On the rear of this device, you have your filter. To check the filter, there's a tab on the back. Pull on that tab, and this corner piece comes off to expose your filter. It slides in and out of this housing very simply and needs to be checked and replaced often. The manufacturer recommends replacement of this filter every 2 weeks. To replace it, simply snap it back into place. In addition to that, on the back of your device, you have an SD card. Below this little lip, there's a little blue card. To remove it, press it, and it will slide out much like the SD card in your camera or any other device. Your physician may require this on follow-up, so please make sure to take it along with you. But remember to bring it back and reinsert it once you return. One other nice feature on this machine is the app that allows you and your doctor to track your progress on the machine. In order to do a download on that app, you will need to first download the appropriate application. This application is the 3B Luna, and you can find it in the App Store or Android Store. To do the download, first wake your machine by pressing the knob, and then press your alarm silence button one time. It will then display a code that you can scan with your smartphone, and it will allow you, and if you've linked to your doctor, to track your progress as you use the machine. To exit that menu, simply twist to the right until you've highlighted the back and select to go back to the main screen. To access the usage data on your machine to see how you're doing, press the button to the right, which is the ramp button, and it will take you to different periods. The first you'll see is 1 day. By selecting, you can change that from 1 day to 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and so on. This will give you a great summary of how you're doing without having to use the application at all. To exit that menu, simply scroll until you get to the back and select to go home. To go into your customer menu, you'll highlight the gear icon, press to select, and you'll be able to access and change any of your customer options. The first option you'll notice is your humidifier, which can also be changed in this menu from 3 to 5 or as low as off. The next feature you'll see is your ramp time. Ramp time is a comfort feature that allows you to set how long it will be before your machine increases from a minimal starting pressure to your full prescribed pressure. This can be adjusted by selecting to as low as 0 minutes, which means it will start at the prescribed pressure as soon as you turn the machine on, or as high as 45 minutes by twisting all the way to the right. Once you've made your selection, press again to lock it in. You'll also see a few other options, such as the brightness of your screen, mask type, and any other features you might want to adjust within your machine for your own comfort. One important feature to adjust if you ever make a change is your mask type. It should be preset with the mask that was shipped along with your machine. However, if you change masks or have another mask that you switch to from time to time, please make sure to change it in your machine as well. Once you've made the selection, lock it in. As with any menu, to go back home, simply select Home and press it to go. Now, you're ready to rock and roll with your new 3B Luna Cpap device. Of course, if you have any questions or concerns or need any further clarification along the way, don't hesitate to call us at any time. We're always here and happy to help. Thanks for choosing Cpap My Way.